Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is March the 3rd, 2021. And I was just trying to get a mosquito there. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Have a backbone. All right. Be a unique beast. Fitting in is overrated. You're home for Bitcoin insider information. I'm going to give you a unique perspective on this. Hello, my elite friends. You guys are the unique beasts of the world, the 20 percenters. Welcome back to the show. If you have questions, I have answers. Type in BitcoinMeister or do a super chat. 20 Bitcoin make you a millionaire on this beautiful March the 3rd. Day here in Miami. Now, remember, April 6th to May 11th, I will be in Nashville, Tennessee, and then back in Miami again. Okay, and I talked about that on last show. We're going to talk about that Coinbase show a little bit more because I had more to say. Here's a saying that should be the saying of free thinkers. You will not own me, and I will be happy. That's from Ryan Raleigh. I'll link to that below. You will not own me, and I will be happy. I think you know what that's a play on words of there. All right, so you will own nothing and be happy. Yeah, right. Okay, now Elizabeth Warren proposes to steal money from people, and of course all the envious people out there who have been taught to hate the rich are cheering it on. Elizabeth Warren is proposing an ultra-millionaire wealth tax. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Bernie Sanders, and other Democrats on Monday proposed a 2% annual tax on wealth over $50 million, rising to 3% for wealth over $1 billion. So let's get this straight, okay? And so that'll be linked to below if it's not linked to already. I was in a rush beforehand. Let's say I have $51 million worth of Bitcoin one day, okay? One day in the future, I might have $51 million worth of Bitcoin. And so then if this tax is real, I will have to pay 2% of my wealth over $50 million to the government to support single moms or whoever every year. Okay, so I got $51 million worth of Bitcoin. A million over 50. What's 2% of $1 million? $20,000 a year. $20,000 a year for it's complete theft. Complete theft because people don't do the numbers like that. All right, and So I'm going to have to come up with $20,000 to rent my Bitcoin from the government. I mean, is that what they're saying? I want to pay $20,000 for my nieces and nephews to go to private school. I don't want to pay for some single mom in Seattle to live a good life because of me because she couldn't do any work or whatever. And I said, but this is the kind of thing that is cheered on today. People don't really think about it. They just hear, ultra millionaires wealth tax. This is Bitcoiners. The long-term thinking Bitcoiners a lot of us are going to fall into this category one day. We'll be considered ultra millionaires by these haters like Elizabeth Warren, and it'll be cheered on to steal $20,000 a year from us. So I don't think we'll get there. I think there will be. I think they're worried about, and this is not targeting Bitcoiners per se. It's just the manifestation of envy in today's culture. Okay. And I can spend $20,000. I can hold on to my wealth any way I want to. This is not a wealth promoting tax, to say the least. It is impulsive. It just goes with the emotion of hating on the rich today. And it's typical Elizabeth Warren. I'm going to mention her a little bit later in the show because she did actually say something about Bitcoin. She obviously was warning people about Bitcoin. She doesn't. She wants to steal from the rich, but she doesn't want people to become rich, or she doesn't understand how you become rich through savings. Pound that like button. Now it feels like there's something else I wanted to say about that. All right, but this is you get the unique perspective here. Not many people can say, I love the rich. I love the rich. You shouldn't be envious of the rich. You should strive to be the rich. And that's what I've been doing all this time with Bitcoin. And I ended up doing pretty well here. I hope to be in a situation where I'll have $50 million of wealth. Okay, now, what's this? Idolizing a politician is like believing the stripper really likes you. All right, I shared that one before, but I thought it was good to say that when we're talking about these politicians. So yeah, Warren actually jumped on the Letitia James scaring people about Bitcoin train. Letitia James, by the way, we're going to talk about her. She's the Attorney General of New York State. Your future governor there in New York is Letitia James, and enjoy Letitia up there in New York. A lot of people don't want to enjoy Letitia, so they're moving down to Florida. Okay, now Warren has when she was being asked about Bitcoin and asked about what Janet Yellen, her girl Janet Yellen, had said something bad about Bitcoin. So when pressed, Warren said, speculative in nature and going to end badly. I don't think Janet left a lot of room for ambiguity. So yeah, she thinks Bitcoin is speculative in nature and is going to end badly. No, you becoming president is ending badly. That's ending badly for the nation, for the people who are dependent on the government at least. That's true. Well, Bitcoin, it's not ending badly, dude. Your buddies have been saying that for quite a few years. We're going to get to that in a second too. It's a great way to get attention. When Bitcoin is going well, if you want to be contrarian, you're like, hey, it's going to end badly. And you'll get an article written about you. And that's not why she did it. She genuinely doesn't like Bitcoin. She doesn't like it that it might be a way to get around her proposed socialist wealth taxes and who knows what. Now, I want to remind everyone this Friday at noon is This Week in Bitcoin. Jan should be on, and that's Miami time. Jan, Keep It Simple Bitcoin, and BTC Benny. Of course, on this previous Friday, we had John K. Vallis, Kyle Kemper, and BTC Dragon Lord on. Now, what do I say about my This Week in Bitcoin shows? What's my saying about that, guys? Best guest in the space? Pound that like button. And it is true. I do bring you the best guests in space. I've been doing This Week in Bitcoin since the first week. It was since January of 2017. Every Friday now, and it's a favorite of mine. I'd say one of my favorite shows. I do enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And always. So speaking of This Week in Bitcoin guests of the past, Andy Hoffman has been on before. Oh no, I said Andy Hoffman, send me to the Bitcoin Inquisition. No, that doesn't work because I'm a true Bitcoin holder. You can't send me to. Can't do anything to me. I'm a unique beast. I can say whatever I want to. Now, Andy, that's why you should get into Bitcoin. 20 Bitcoin make you a millionaire. Wink, wink. All right. Now, Andy Hoffman says he mentions that the GBTC premium is gone, and he suggests perhaps the ETF is on the way. I think we're definitely one day closer to a Bitcoin ETF, but it is strange that the GBTC premium has gone away. And that is a sign that perhaps someone out there has got some insider information that the ETF, Bitcoin ETF, is going to be approved soon. There's been some finagling around these entities. It seems like they're getting ready to list it or be a part of a proposed Bitcoin ETF. I don't worry about the Bitcoin ETF so much, but it is noteworthy that the GBTC premium went away. I don't know. Again, you guys want to mess with that GBTC thing? Yeah. All right. Hey, by the way, I forgot to mention this the other day too. I'll link to it below. Federal Reserve outage. Didn't Janet Yellen just say Bitcoin is extremely inefficient? But the FedWire had an outage the other day. That doesn't happen with Bitcoin. All right. But hey, you can have your FedCoin now. And I'll eventually link to that below. Come back. It's not linked to below again. So a fan of mine, when we had a 20% correction and everyone starts fudding on Bitcoin, the usuals come out to FUD on Bitcoin. There was a crash to 46,000. This dude says, in what's this guy's name? Fistful of Sat says, in moments where there are dips like this in Bitcoin, just remember, Adam Meister will be shouting at you in a few weeks' time saying, I told you Bitcoin always returns to its all-time high. Where is your listening comprehension? This guy, that guy is a 20%er. He knows. He did. Very, very good point. Yes, it always returns to its all-time high. How do you guys keep falling for it? Well, probably you worship people like Letitia James and Elizabeth Warren and Janet Yellen. They scare you actually. So, and I'm going to check here the comments real quick. All right, we do have Roman Q said, "Have you been able to pick any fresh fruit off of trees in Florida?" No, I haven't yet, Roman Q. Miami, they're not too many trees growing. It's a big city. I haven't been on the outskirts of Miami yet. I mean, I did go down to where University of Miami is, the U, where Ray Lewis got his education, where Ray Lewis played football. Yeah. So no fruit yet. That's good question. I always look for a free fruit on trees, even when I was in Windhoek, Namibia. Not a wealthy place. I got free food in Windhoek, on the streets of Windhoek, Namibia. I might have actually shown them on a video in the November 2016 when I was there. But yeah, I know I showed them when I was in beautiful Adelaide, Australia, when I was picking mulberries there in November of 2019. Oh, Australia, you disgraceful country. You've gone down the tube so much since then with all your fear. CS2 said, sent $5, thank you. And he says, "Welcome to the digital gold rush." Well, dude, you could say welcome to the newbies. We've been here since 2013, baby. All right, and this is Coinbase shirt. Yeah, they should sell these. They really, my TikToks are linked to below. They are always fun. And hopefully they'll convince some 80%ers to get on the 20%er train. But I know some of you want this shirt, so put pressure on John to sell this freaking shirt. And I think, Dennis, you're watching this now. Dennis, I sent you today's TikTok. I didn't know if you saw it or not. Okay, I can talk to people. In the middle of my show, I talk to people, whatever, I do what I want. It's a unique beast. I'm a freaking unique beast. So let's get back to Letitia James and the crew. And you got to give this woman credit. I mean, she wants to move up in the world. She's got, and she doesn't stoop to the levels of of the vice president. From what I know, what the vice president had to do with Willie Brown. Oh my God! I mean, can you imagine? But Letitia James, what she does, and I didn't fully understand. She gets on popular topics. Like she tried to take out she wanted to sue the president. She thought that was good for the state of New York for some reason. She wanted to sue Bitfinex and Tether. She thought that was good for the state of New York for some reason. But the reason she was doing this is to gain popularity, so that one day she could become governor of New York. But she was just given a gift by Andrew Cuomo, who's the current governor of New York. Let's say he's been less than responsible in terms of dealing with the current events that started about a year ago, dealing with nursing homes. And we've known this for a while, but his brother and his friends over at CNN, they wouldn't cover it until now. And so he also did some things, had been accused of doing some things with the ladies that isn't very good. So Letitia, we got to give Andrew Cuomo some credit here. His idiocy, his cockiness is going to help us take Letitia's attention away from cryptocurrency for a while now. Right now, she's trying to take out her political rival so she can become governor. So she's fixated on that right now. But let's talk, and that's not, enjoy your little battle. I mean, that's the way things happen in that's not the way things should happen in a country like the United States, the best country to live in on earth, where you have a political rival, and so you just you attack them legally to bring them down, so you can take their position eventually. It's not you think in a developing country perhaps that happens, not here. But Letitia's got to do what Letitia's got to do. All right, and I'm putting a positive spin on the whole thing. Now, again, what he did with the current events, that was, it appears he did some would consider it criminal. I'm not going to get into the legalese behind all of it, okay? What I am interested in here is, and we're going to talk about taxes in a second. Don't worry, people. Play this as a 2x if you want to hear the tax stuff. She says, before she got this gift from Cuomo, there are extreme risks in investing in virtual cryptocurrency, and it's imperative that we act to protect investors' wallets. I'm warning New Yorkers and investors across the country that investing in this unstable market is not prudent and could cause devastating losses. No, you're just saying that to get attention, to scare people. You know, scaring people gets the headlines. I mean, if you learned one thing from the last year, scaring people gets you in the headlines, and maybe advances your political career. But again, you've got a honeypot now from the current governor, who you're going to eventually take the place of course. And so you probably won't be talking about cryptocurrency as much now. But this is your next in New York. This is probably your next governor. I mean, maybe in 2024, President Kamala will pick this lady to be her running mate for president, for vice president. You don't know. So yeah, this is her comments about Bitcoin are the ultimate screaming Karen nanny state. I mean, anti-Bitcoin. Just wanting to and haters can do this. We have to get used to this. Okay, if the people that are, this is where the big boys play. If you want to gain fame off of scaring people about Bitcoin, praying for the destruction of Bitcoin, suing entities that deal with cryptocurrencies. I mean, the Attorney General warns cryptocurrency industry, play by the rules or we will shut you down. Or if the New York governor does something pretty obviously bad, we'll fixate on him for a while and forget about cryptocurrency. Okay, now, oh yeah, and I have written down, I need to drink my water in the middle of the show. Yeah, all right, now, it's funny. Why do you have a plastic bottle today? Where's your usual reusable thermos, Adam? Here at this lovely Airbnb, and it is lovely. One morning when I was sleeping, apparently the water had to be fixed. Something went wrong with the water, and the water was out for 3 hours or 2 hours. So the owner gave me a bunch of water just in case I needed water, but I was asleep the whole time. So I woke up. I see this message from the dude. I left you water. The water wasn't working, and then I see another message. The water is back. So it was great. No harm done. Good guy. Gave me 24 waters. I still have them. Delicious. Okay, and I only drink water, as everyone knows. Okay, and so we talk about people that are trying to gain fame off of potentially just scaring people about Bitcoin, destroying Bitcoin. Or no one can destroy it, but just wishing and wanting and praying about it. Here's a guy. He works for the Motley Fool. He says 10 reasons I'll never buy Bitcoin. Contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian. It's the perfect example. He gives all the reasons you've heard before. Trying to get popular through ripping on Bitcoin. Get used to it. And it's weird because they don't, when they accuse it of being a Ponzi and a scam, they don't, their starting point is like now, because they're just getting involved in it. Like, oh, look how much it went up, and so many people are piling money into it, and they don't know what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. Dude, gain a proper perspective. Go back to 2013. Okay, it's been around for a while. It's established. People have been making your accusations for a long time. Okay? I mean, for me, it was legit right then. I wasn't scared of all dudes like this back then, but many people are scared right now when they hear the Letitia James and whoever this guy is, the Motley Fool, screaming about it. Take some perspective here, okay? If it was like a Ponzi or a scam, you'd think people would have figured it out. It didn't just appear the other day. It's been around. You can actually hold your own Bitcoin. It's not like someone. It's not centralized where someone controls the whole get up. All right, and people were saying this about the internet when it started also, and they it stuck around for a while. And these guys aren't long-term thinkers, okay? And maybe this guy does understand it all, and he's just going for the clickbait and whatnot. Who knows? But it's linked to below if you want to see it. And he questions the scarcity of it. Is it really scarce? Oh God, pound that like button for how many times we have to hear this. Okay, but we'll talk about Gary Gensler next time. The Baltimore connection there. Okay, we'll talk about that next time. This is just I was going to talk about NFTs. I don't feel like talking about that now. But Charlie Lee, I agree with Charlie Lee on NFTs. By the way, you can do your own research. We'll talk about that next time. Vinny Langham, though, says, reminds us of the possibility of crypto bail-ins. Now, you're not going to be able to take my Bitcoin, but a big risk, this is a quote from him, a big risk to crypto holders over the next 5 to 10 years is the risk of a crypto tax where desperate state actors order wallet providers and exchanges to haircut user funds. Non-custodial wallet solutions are critical to the crypto infrastructure, not your keys, not your coins. So, we talked about Coinbase. You're a big grown up. You don't have to keep your Bitcoin at Coinbase at the bank. But people like Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Letitia James, they're probably going to be desperate one day, and they'll have a really simple way of getting back at the cryptocurrency people. The majority of people will be keeping their cryptocurrency at crypto banks. Why not have a crypto bail-in and steal from them 10%? 10% crypto bail-in. That'll be able to fund a lot of government programs that Bernie and Elizabeth dream of. So this is a real thing that can happen. If you're going to treat it like a bank, they're going to treat it like how they treat banks, all right? And what really might happen is they'll say, well, we're not doing this to you Fed coin holders or you dollar holders. We're only doing it. So is it really a bail-in? We're just doing this to the mean, rich crypto people. Now, of course, unfortunately, that will be targeting the least sophisticated of the cryptocurrency holders, the ones who don't understand what controlling their own private key is all about. But something like that could easily happen. Oh, by the way, with the whole Letitia James making her bold statements on Twitter and whatnot, that I have linked to below. The great Udi, and I retweeted this. What did he say? He said, have fun staying poor, New York. Pound that like button. Yeah, I mean, she puts New York on that path to having fun staying poor. She's protecting everybody from cryptocurrency. So, okay, there won't be people doing a cryptocurrency business there. Great. Have fun staying poor. And people will blindly believe her out of fear. And in the long run, hey, they'll be poor. Now, have fun. So there is an article about have fun staying poor at CoinDesk today. Say some people think it's cyberbullying. Yeah, whatever. It's waking people up. And so yeah, I wanted to go to Coinbase again before we get into the IRS stuff. Oh man, play this at 2x. Yeah, what I left off of Monday's show is that there are people out there that think you need to be against Coinbase to be a Bitcoiner, and that is totally Inquisition type of talk there. Who ended up happier back in the day? The guys who bought at Mt. Gox or the guys who bought at Coinbase, okay? Imagine if I had bought from Mt. Gox in 2013 instead of Coinbase. I mean, I could have been so disillusioned that I would have slowed down buying Bitcoin, or maybe I would have stopped buying. No, I would have never stopped buying Bitcoin. But there are some people out there. There's some people out there that they bought at Mt. Gox instead of buying at Coinbase, and they probably quit Bitcoin, and that's really sad for them. And they're not having fun staying poor, no doubt about it. And the people who hate on Coinbase for people can buy altcoins there. Dudes, again, we're talking about grown-ups here. No one's forcing anyone to buy altcoins at Coinbase. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. It's not Coinbase's fault that people want to buy Litecoin. All right? And that they give people an outlet, a way to buy Litecoin. They didn't invent altcoins at Coinbase. And I mean, you really got to think critically here. Coinbase is not forcing anyone to buy anything. All right, so the IRS has come up with they've updated their frequently asked question section for cryptocurrency. Now, the thing they updated on March the freaking 2nd, which is yesterday. Now, people have already filed their taxes for this year. But hey, we're going to make a clarification on March the freaking 2nd about here. I'll read you what I had never seen this frequently asked questions section, by the way, before. And there are some interesting, it's linked to below already. for you Americans out there. But here, question 5. The 2020 form 1040 asks whether at any time during 2020 I received, sold, sent, exchanged, or otherwise acquired any financial interest in any virtual currency. That seems pretty freaking clear what they're asking there. During 2020, I purchased virtual currency with real currency and had no other virtual currency transactions during the year. Must I answer yes to the Form 1040 question? Now, previously, they're asking you, have you bought cryptocurrency? And if you bought cryptocurrency, you're supposed to answer yes. Oh no, they've got to clarify it. No, if your only transaction involving virtual currency during 2020 were purchases of virtual currency with real currency, they considered a dollar to be real, you are not required to answer yes to the Form 1040 question. Dudes, you've had this question on it since last year. People like me who have bought cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, with real money, answered yes to it because it clearly said if you bought it, you answer yes. Now on March the 2nd, 2021, okay, that's not what we really meant. These guys are buffoons, man. It just makes you wonder how much they want to have a list of a bunch of people who own cryptocurrency, okay? Okay, I'm on your list. Great. I mean, you could ask Coinbase that. And for God's sakes, I mean, another thing that, and there's an article about it, another thing that they remind you of is like, dudes, if you freaking bought, if you sold Bitcoin for anything, if you sold your Bitcoin, you better tell us. don't try to hide from us, okay? They say that, I mean, that was freaking obvious. Now, just the incompetence, dudes, they don't know what they're freaking doing, but they do. The basics here is if you think you're some genius trader going back and forth, you are part of the honeypot of buffoons. If you don't report to the IRS, okay, that is their honeypot right there, because they don't even. I don't think they fully understand what they're doing. But here, this is a good. Another tip they have here, another question, and this is one I had wondered about before because I have never sold a Bitcoin for fiat. I've never done that, all right? And I've wondered about this when the day comes, what am I going to have to do? It says, I own multiple units of one kind of virtual currency, some of which were acquired at different times and have different basis amounts. If I sell, exchange, or otherwise dispose of some units of that virtual currency, can I choose which units are deemed sold, exchanged, or otherwise disposed of? So they are asking, over time, I bought a lot of Bitcoin. I paid different prices for it. I want to sell some Bitcoin. Can I choose which Bitcoin that can I say that I'm selling my $600 Bitcoin now? And I'm selling my $3,000 Bitcoin now? Or do I have to say that I'm selling the first Bitcoin I ever bought or the last Bitcoin I ever bought? And they say, yes, you may choose which units of virtual currency are deemed to be sold, exchanged, or otherwise disposed of if you can specifically identify which unit or units of virtual currency are involved in the transaction and substantiate your basis in those units. All right. So that is very important because you could be in a certain situation where, let's say, you bought some Bitcoin for $20,000 a few months ago, all right? But you own like 10 Bitcoin. You bought one for $20,000 a few months ago, all right? But you own 10 of them. And now, for some reason, God forbid, I'm offended by selling, you need to sell. So a lot of people would think, oh, well, it's gonna be a short-term capital gains. I got to sell. It's the last one. The last one I bought, I'm selling. No. You could say I'm selling the one I bought in 2013 for $600. This is what I mean. I'm not giving you tax advice here, but clearly the reading by a layman of what I just of question 39 on the FAQ. It explains that. It says you can do that. You can pick and choose if you can show which one you've sold. If you could, and through the blockchain, through the Explorer, the blockchain Explorer, you can clearly. It's pretty obvious if you can show which you bought it on this date and you moved it here, you moved it there, and then you sold it this date, and this is the one I'm choosing to say that I'm selling right now. I'm selling it. So that's actually good. That's a good thing. And then another year passes, and that one that you bought for 20,000, it's a long-term capital gains at that point. And depending on where you are financially, you have to make decisions on which Bitcoin I am selling right now. The one I paid 300 for, the one I paid 800 for, the one I paid 20. I mean, but you can pick and choose, but you just have to show them that you did that. And obviously you can't sell the same one twice, but it's very interesting stuff there. I did not know. And some of you that are not Americans don't give a darn about this, but many people watching this are Americans right now. Okay, we'll talk about that next time. Have I covered everything here? We'll talk about that one next time. That one next time. Oh yeah, and again the ETF. Yeah, I mentioned that. CBOE tries again. Okay, to be the first. There was another. It's been registered again. People are trying to register Bitcoin ETFs again. Oh, Litecoin. Why, Barry Silbert? Why? Grayscale bought 80% of all Litecoin mined in February. Now, well, I know why. People want to diversify for the sake of diversification. Still, even though his funds, they're not selling at a premium anymore. He knows people still they want access to cryptocurrency this way. Even though soon they'll be able to do it through ETFs. And he's the dude buying all the Litecoin out there, apparently. Oh man, if you are a Litecoin ETF holder, you haven't been watching the show. Okay, and finally, this is old, but this is from last week. Old. Bitcoin buyers punished by surging bond yields. So some old school financial people, they see that the bond yields are going up, and they're like, "Oh, dude, time to buy bonds." You really value your wealth in fiat that much. You're getting interest in fiat. And this apparently turns some people off from buying Bitcoin? Dude, you really don't get it, man. You're tempted by, I mean, even if the bond rate, if they start paying 10% or whatever, something, from the 1980s, the bond yields went up that high. Why? They're printing this stuff like crazy. It's worthless. It's virtually worthless. I mean, I can't believe this is a reason, a quote unquote logical reason people are giving why some people sold their Bitcoin or weren't as interested in Bitcoin because the bond yields are going up. My Lord, it's just like, have you learned anything from what's been going on? All right, that's it. I'm Adam Meister, BitcoinMeister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to the channel, pound that like button, everybody, and we'll see you at This Week in Bitcoin. BTC Betty, everybody's going to be on. It's a best guess in the freaking space. I hope I covered everything I said I would. Bye-bye.